Is Ms. Blundell here?
No, ma'am. Called me this weekend, Your Honor, so I'm a little surprised that her not here, but I haven't seen her today. Just Blundell.
Oh. Okay. On the record, in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Theodore Gomez. This is in file number 24-02266. Mr. Gomez, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Gomez?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Okay,
Yes, I
I'm
can,
here.
Your Honor. Yeah, yes, I can, Your Honor.
Today's the date and the time that's scheduled for an arraignment on another probation violation. I have a probation request and summons for violation alleging that you committed the following technical probation violations, that you, per scram tether, had a confirmed alcohol consumption on April 9th, according to JSG monitoring, with a peak alcohol content 0.031 at 7:36 p.m. on the 9th of April. So you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing. If you're not able to hire an attorney at your own expense, you can request to have the public defender's office represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you requesting an attorney to represent you?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Okay, I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Again, you have the right to have a contested hearing on these violations. This will be set for a hearing, and you'll meet with someone from the public defender's office today for screening. I should also alert you that the court is in receipt of a letter that I believe you provided to our probation department in reference to your not being allowed, or I guess, to go get treatment through the veterans court system.
It's called Veterans Court.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar. That's been placed in the file. Your ability to be able to get screened and have had a plea through the court, the Veterans Court, had no bearings on this court. You understand that? I had no control over that.
Yes, I do, Your Honor. It's just, but a lot of my fellow brother veterans, we didn't even know about the vet court.
Okay.
Because I'm in daily meetings with veterans, and we've discussed this.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you were aware that that's not something that my court can just go and order you to participate in the Veterans Court. We don't have the ability to do that.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, so let me get you a date for a hearing. You'll appear in person for your hearing date. May 19th at 1:30. May 19th at 1:30 in person at the court. And if you hang tight, we'll get you in a meeting room with someone from the public defender's office in just a moment, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Let's see, on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Carl Michael Knox, 24-02343. Is there a Carl Michael Knox here?
No one has checked in with me.
Bench warrant. Who's in the jail? What's your name?
Mr. Orr,
Can you hear? Mr. Orr?
Robert Orr,
I can't hear him.
Robert Orr.
Is Tquan Prophet here?
He's on Zoom.
Okay, who's representing him?
Yeah, I'm here.
She was standing outside having a conversation if she needed to talk to people. Mr. Doyle, is your client here?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is here.
You ready on your matter?
Well, I'm having a, need a brief conversation with the prosecutor.
Okay.
She's not on. She's here.
Oh, got it. Right.
Yeah.
Are you ready on Mr. Prophet?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Tquan Prophet 25-01187, appearance please.
Haley Fortuna on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter standing in today on behalf of Assistant Public Defender Joe Hardy for Mr. Prophet. An amended appearance will be filed on behalf of either myself or Mr. Lally.
Mr. Prophet, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Today was a day scheduled for pre-trial on a domestic violence. Was there an offer on this?
Your Honor, the offer on this one would be 7694A. I'm not sure that I have a chance to convey that to Ms. Sutter yet.
Okay, final pre-trial.
That's correct, Your Honor. I assume. I didn't have his one because we had it as a
Jury trial, August 4th. Final pretrial will be held in person at the court June 23rd at 8 a.m. And then a jury trial is currently scheduled for August 4th, 8 a.m. in person at the court. Do you have any questions at this time? Mr. Prophet,
No, ma'am.
any additional matters for the record, counsel?
On behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Deborah Radzowitz, 25-01168, counsel appearance.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Radzowitz, who joins us via Zoom.
Okay, today was currently scheduled for pretrial. This is an interview with a 911 call and domestic violence. How are we proceeding?
There was an offer made on this one, Your Honor. The offer was that count one would be dropped if defendant pled to count two.
I believe that also included an agreement to 7694A if eligible.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I did discuss that with Ms. Radzowitz, and at this time we request a final pretrial.
Okay, final pretrial, in person at the court, June 23rd, 8 o'clock in the morning. Jury trial, August 4th, 8 a.m., also in person at the court. Do you have any questions today, Ms. Radzowitz?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
On behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Your pretrial. Who's representing Robert Orr? Does he have an attorney?
He had conflict counsel, Your Honor. If you allow me 1 minute to switch tabs, I'll look up who.
Okay. And then McCann is also here.
Shamus McCann is mine. I haven't had the opportunity to speak with him since getting an offer this morning.
Looks like Cadence is logging in.
Yes, Your Honor, I was just gonna tell the court, she emailed me in the middle of that last hearing to advise she's coming in.
And Tiffany Tartamela. It's by Yang.
Yeah, Mr. David Carter has Orr and Yang has Tartamela.
I was gonna say, I thought I seen Mr. Yang. There he is.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Yang. Good
May I request
afternoon.
a breakout room?
You need a breakout room with your client?
Yes, please.
And Your Honor, if I could briefly have one with Mr. McCann. If Aaron Schroeder logs in, can you?
You need a breakout room with McCann?
With McCann, yeah, and if Aaron Schroeder logs in, can you throw her in there with us?
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Radzowitz, you're all set for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who is representing Orr? Oh, okay. And then they're supposed to put, oh no, Natividad Ramos is downstairs, then, correct?
Yes, be downstairs. It's the only one in person.
Okay, and then Mr. Doyle, you're still not ready?
No, we're still trying to figure out the resolution.
Yeah. Based on the volume. It's a state civil infraction again. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Or we just talked about it.
We talked about it. Have one right here.
It is the court on Mr. McCann willing to let us make some movement on the felony file today as well.
When you say make movement, what does that mean?
He's entering a plea that would resolve his felony file as well as the misdemeanors today.
Oh, okay, so we need to grab the felony file.
I just want to have all the case numbers right here. Yes, but the one I also touched base, this is brand new. I wish we get rid of the felony. Yep. This one. And then please, this file.
Yeah, he did.
Also, right. But I don't- And then also the 2019 one. And then I have them all. The 19 is retail fraud. I'm not sure I got everything.
Taking off the internet and I'm about to throw it out the window. Mine's also new.
Yeah. I have no idea that.
Oh, they didn't tell me about that with mine either, and I learned to do the same thing. So,
And then did you tell Aaron Schroeder, I got this email at like 10:30 about it.
this morning?
Yeah.
But after before I texted it,
I don't remember.
Well, you would know. I
Well,
texted
yeah,
her.
how would I know?
It was a question college, so it was like 11 o'clock.
What is it called? I sent her this email.
Yeah.
Do you think Mr. Carter's gonna come today? Mr. Carter's gonna be here for this, Oh, great.
In the felony file.
How did we get all three of them today?
I don't think I.
Oh, let's see. Is Ramos holding a hearing? Do we know?
Don't be the judge.
Okay, I'll have it brought up as well. Were you ready on someone? Oh, Ms. Schroeder is here. You wanted Ms. Schroeder to do what?
She's here to observe McCann. I've already finished speaking with them, so. She is the attorney of record on the complaint files.
Okay, I have the felony file now. Okay, on the record, in the matters of the state of Michigan versus Shamus McCann, 19-05008, 22-02859 and 25-01189. And then I have a felony file, State of Michigan versus McCann, 20-01126. Council appearances, please.
Haley Fortuna Hill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. McCann, who joins us via Zoom today.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Oops, sorry. Assistant Public Defender Aaron Schroeder on Mr. McCann as well regarding his felony file. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. McCann was present today for 3 files that had a retail fraud, a breaking and entering without owner present, and another breaking and enter without owner present. And then I was asked to include the felony file for a global resolution. Is that accurate?
That's correct, Your Honor. I believe there's also a retail fraud.
That was the first one I called.
I apologize, Your Honor. Yes, that is correct. And we're just finishing filling out a plea sheet right now.
Should be retail fraud and a breaking and entering the same file, maybe 19 dash.
00 or
The
05.
19, the only one that's 2019 is the retail fraud. Why? My eye. Here you go. I'll give it to you.
This is 2-5.
He's got to be, so.
Yeah.
Here, I'll go put my hand on.
It's just getting Mr. Martinez's signature.
I'm just gonna have to wait for the signature, but I mean, we can get it on there.
As the court wants to take this, and we'll just finish getting it signed by Mr. Martinez when he returns.
Okay, Mr. McCann, I have an offer here from the people for you to plead guilty to domestic violence in file number 20-01126 FY and a trespass in 25-01189, and they'll dismiss the remaining counts. Is that your understanding about how you're going to proceed today?
Yes, it is.
01126 and then 251189. Okay, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, you have the following rights that you would have to give up if you wanted to plead guilty to. I'm gonna put Tartamela in the waiting room. Okay, you have the following rights that you would need to give up if you wanted to guilty plead to the domestic violence count and the trespassing count and accept this plea offer. One would be your right to the presumption that you're innocent in each of these files until proven guilty. So you have the right to maintain that presumption of innocence and take this matter all the way to jury trial, at which time the prosecutor would be required to prove your guilt by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have the right to see, hear, and question any other witnesses that the prosecutor intends to call or testify against you. Your right to call any witness to be subpoenaed to testify on your behalf or present evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charge. And you can waive your silence and testify if you'd like. You understand those rights that you would have to give up?
Yes, I do.
Is anyone threatening you to get you to give these rights up?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
I understand that by pleading guilty It could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer. You may need to place this conviction on a future job application.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm assuming these are co-defendant cases?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 5 codefendants.
Okay, because one person I had to remove because they had 5 people looking in the camera, and then Mr. Orr is having a bit of an emotional breakdown right now.
Yes, Your Honor. He is one of the codefendants on that
Okay,
case.
so now it makes sense. Okay. Okay. Lastly, Mr. McCann, is anyone threatening you to get you to enter these guilty pleas?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, as to the domestic violence and file number 20-01126, how do you plead?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
As to the domestic violence in file number 20-01126, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to the trespass in file number 25-01189, how do you plead?
Guilty.
A factual basis.
Thank you. Mr. McCann, is it true that on or about April 4th of 2020, you were present at or near 533 Baker Street?
Yes.
And is that in the city of Lansing, Michigan, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes, it is.
And at that time, did you come into contact with a woman by the name of Angel Naranjo?
Yes.
And is that an individual with whom you had at that time or previously had a dating relationship?
Yes, I did.
And during that interaction with her, did you at some point shove her?
Yes.
And it's true that you did not do that in self-defense, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis for that file.
Any questions from the prosecution?
None, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. McCann, moving to the next file, is it true that on or about April 20th, 2025, you were present at or near 420 West Ottawa Street?
Yes, it is true.
Is that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes, yes, it is.
And is it true that you remained at that location after you became aware you were not welcome to stay there?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from the prosecutor?
None, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea and I find your plea to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. I see. In the felony file, there was a bond violation, but I'm assuming it is this file.
I believe that's correct, Your Honor.
Because
Yes.
they didn't actually put what the bond violation was in here.
That is correct, Your Honor. I believe it was picking up new criminal activity, if I remember correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, sentencing date. The sentencing date on this is going to be June 16th. Needs to meet with the probation department. Then he can undergo a pre-sentence interview. I am going to order a substance abuse assessment. Let's see.
Yes, Your Honor.
There was a 2,000 cash surety bond on it. Is this what's holding him?
There is also a bond, 2 bonds for city cases that are set for tomorrow that I believe will resolve tomorrow. Those should be $50 each.
Any additional matters for the record?
None on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Commissioner, we got a date but not a time for sentencing.
Oh, 9 a.m.
Thank you very much. Nothing further.
You're all set for today, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Sutter and Kerwin Johnson are all involved.
The one that took the 3 that I gave you.
Yeah.
Has your Honor already arranged Ms. Blundell?
No, I have not.
She's already completed an application with me to get date and time for her. hearing for her.
We can have Ramos brought up. Mr. Yang,
Yes, Your Honor.
were you ready with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We're probably gonna need to request an adjournment. This is my first contact I've had with her since I was assigned, so.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Tiffany Tartamela 25-01191, appearance, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joseph Yang on behalf of Ms. Tiffany Tartamela, who we are both present via Zoom and consent to this hybrid hearing.
Okay, Ms. Tartamela was unable to make contact with her attorney. Is that what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor, I was appointed to this case as conflict counsel. The information that was provided to me, with the information provided to me, I was unable to make contact with her. I was able to speak with her in the breakout room today, did get updated contact information and confirmed that contact information. So I'd request one adjournment to give me time to speak with her about it, as well as the people, to see if we have a plan of action moving forward.
What is your contact information, Ms. Tartamela?
It is, I'm getting it right now. It is 517-329-4922.
Okay, you were arraigned on April 22nd. You gave another telephone number.
Yeah, I gave my mom's number because I didn't have a phone yet.
Okay, so it's your responsibility to keep the court and your attorney abreast of any changes in your contact information, including your address, okay?
Okay.
I'm also gonna require that she appears in person for the remaining of her court dates.
Okay.
All right, let's see. June 2nd at 8:30 in person at the court.
Monday, June 2nd at 8:30.
That's correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. That works for me.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Tartamela?
No, I do not.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, let's see, who's representing or it was Mr. Carter?
I believe so. That's correct, Your Honor. And I did see Mr. Johnson just appeared for
I
Mr.
did. I did too. Who's the gentleman in that?
That is Bird, Derek Bird.
Okay. Is McPeek in Zoom?
McPeek is who Mr. Johnson just took out into the hallway.
Okay. I don't have Blundell's file, so I can't. Mr. Johnson, are you ready?
Yes.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Byron McPeek, 25-01188. Appearance, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, man. Please don't record Kareem Johnson from behalf of the standing my media right.
Mr. McPeek.
What are you on?
Mr. McPeek has a pretrial for breaking and entering illegal entry. Are we ready to resolve this today?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the people are offering a civil infraction littering. Which I have the pack code for. It's 324.8902, but that'll be on the plea sheet.
Thank you. If he wants to accept responsibility.
Yes, Your Honor, there's one issue we need to deal with after, if the court wants to deal with after the plea.
Connected or has
It's
to be
connected. His wallet and cell phone, he believes he left inside the building. I looked up, I'll double check the property part of the police report to see if they've recovered it. But if not, we may have to try and contact the complainant witness to see if we can get in there and get it.
Okay. His fine is $50. When is he gonna pay?
Can I make some payments?
Okay.
I'm looking, trying to find that right now. I need my wallet, my ID's in my wallet, I need my phone. And the Lansing Center, they're hiring, so,
Okay, so you're currently unemployed?
yes.
Oh, sorry. Well, our screen went out. You're unemployed. We don't need to be on the record for this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to establish his
On
ability.
the 30th,
You were arrested on this
yes.
Yes, Your Honor, he was.
on the 22nd. Okay, I'll give you 30 days to pay, but it's your responsibility to come back up here if you need additional time, okay? Recognize your attorney's trying to help you find your wallet and you're looking for a job. So you'll just come back and let us know if you need an extension, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
On behalf of the people.
Yeah, I got.
We're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yep. No, they boarded in. I went to the police station after they escorted me there to see. It was
Everybody have a good day.
Same to you.
Plea sheet, Your Honor.
Okay. Take you ready, Mr. Doyle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the, oh, no, we're not on the record because the computer's still.
Now, this will also be a civil infraction. Do we need on the record?
We do not. Civil infraction littering,
Yeah.
when can he pay?
Sorry about that. Your Honor. Same thing, I'm looking for the I can pay within 30 days.
What's your contact information?
517-326-9589.
Okay, you'll be responsible for coming back up here if you need an extension to request one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Can I approach with the plea sheet?
No problem. You don't really have to do it for it's a civil- It's a civil infraction.
That was good practice.
Took me so long to explain here, does not 3.5 years, 4 years. Yeah, we don't, like, none of those exist over here.
Yeah.
It took me so long to get used to them.
This is Mr. Ramos. See Mr. Carter, is he not gonna come help this guy? No?
Usually
Mr.
he's on
Orr?
top of it. I do know he was appointed late last week, but we have the date and file at the time.
Mr. Orr, we haven't seen your attorney yet. That's the holdup, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's see, on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan, are we back on? Okay, state of Michigan versus Natividad Ramos in file number 18-04690. Parents, please.
Assistant Public Defender Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Ramos.
Ramos is scheduled to have a hearing. I'm sorry? Okay, Mr. Ramos was scheduled to have a hearing today on probation violations that he was previously arraigned on. And my understanding is he's not going to proceed to a hearing today. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe, oh no, I'm not tripping. This is a 2020 arraignment. That's why. Probation violation hearing. Okay, so the allegation that you failed to appear for your probation violation hearing back on December 15th, 2020. Looks like the failure to appear stemmed from something you were arraigned on prior to that. It looks like you were to appear in person after appearing on November 30th. The allegations are that you failed to report to probation beginning January 2020, and you failed to complete the economic crime program as directed by the court and pay the fee, and that you failed to pay fines and costs and restitution, the amount due being $355.16. He's pleading guilty to those.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand that you have the right to proceed to your contested hearing at this time? You have the right to require the prosecutor and the probation department put forth evidence that would establish your guilt as to those violations. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
If you're found guilty, you could be subject to penalty, including jail time. You recognize that as well?
I do.
Okay, as to the violations that was just read to you, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Actual basis.
Sir Ramos, is it true that you were sentenced to a term of probation by this court in 2019?
Yes, I was.
As part of that probation, were you required to report to a probation officer on a regular basis?
I was.
Is it true that you did not report in January of 2020 and did not report after that?
It is true.
Is it true that you were also required to complete an economic crime program and pay fees associated with that program?
Yes, I was.
Is it true that you did not complete that program and did not pay those fees?
That is true.
Any questions from the prosecution?
None, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I find it to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. So this was a plea that was taken by Judge Clark, like in 2018. Plaintiff amended count 1 to embezzlement, 1 year, $2,000. You pled guilty and referred to probation. Like he had a a probation violation just as soon as I arrived, pretty much. And we reset this out multiple times to bring you into compliance with the court. It looks like at some point we did see you in June of 2020, and then you went AWOL again. And we saw you again in November 2020. And then we didn't see you again for almost 5 years. I counsel you to address the court.
Your Honor, my client certainly does not deny his responsibility here. He did essentially abscond from probation for a number of years. Not complete his requirements as ordered by the court. As of today, he's being held on course this matter. He also has an issue out of 55th District Court. I'm not sure where that's at in this process. And he also had a child support issue, which I believe he's should be released on that. Regardless of all that, at this point, I would simply leave sentencing to the court's discretion.
I'm just trying to find Judge Clark's original judgment of sentence because his handwriting is just a little bit difficult for me to read. At the time, it said he had restitution of $1,411.53. And it appears that there was at some point an order for a wage assignment. So maybe portions of that was paid and he's, what is his balance now? I have $355.16. So you were working and at least paying that off, and then you just absconded completely. What were you
I
doing
lost my
prior?
job and I lost my house at the same time, so I just didn't know what to do. That's why
So you've not worked since 2020?
I've worked, but I haven't had enough to actually support myself completely and have enough to pay the fines and continue living where I was.
Why didn't you complete the economic crime course before all of this happened?
At the time, I was still in the active National Guard, and that took up the 3 weekends I did have because I wasn't working.
About 60 days Ingham County Jail. It looks like you had some time on this. So I'll credit you whatever time you have. You'll serve the remaining of the term in jail. Any additional matters for the record?
None on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
There's one thing, Your Honor. Mr. Ramos also has another case pending in this court. WI case, which I believe he's currently PR status on that. My request would be that he be given some bond so that he can improve jail credit.
It says he has a 500 cash surety bond on that. When was he arraigned? Yeah, so he was arraigned the same time. Yep. Let's see, right on that, so he has a cash ready bond.
Thank you.
No problem. You're all set. We haven't seen Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter is on his way, Your Honor. He said he was tied up in another court.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for Cadence as well. On the record, in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Cadence Blundell, this is file number 24-02054. Ms. Blundell, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Where were you late?
Why was I late?
That's what I asked.
Someone was driving in the car and I waited until I could park for connection and so I could be alone and not have anyone around me.
Oh, okay. I have a request and summons for probation violation. The allegations are that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to refrain from alcohol per Accordant Health Solutions on April 16, 2025, and that you had positive alcohol results yielding 6,33 nanogram per milliliter ETG and 2,524 nanogram milliliter ETS. So you do have the right to be represented by an attorney and the right to have a contested hearing. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the public defender's office can be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
My understanding is that you have already gone through an intake process with Ms. Sutter. Will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set this for an in-person hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
May 19th at 1:30. Your hearing is May 19th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, no, it's on the record. You're all set. Thank you. You're all set, ma'am. And then we'll just. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah.